What did you offer him in return?
There is one thing you can do for me.
If you have proof of what's real, you need to show me.
I think there might be a connection between what happened to Chief Brennan and Drew.
Were you the one that framed Willow?
Brook Lynn's shocking confession leaves Chase furious as Willow's frame-up unravels. Britt walks free after a stunning legal twist, while Carly and Lulu's war over Valentine explodes. Ethan's chilling warning hides a dangerous secret, and Anna finally uncovers proof that could change everything she believed. Hi everyone! Welcome to my channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So let's get started. Brook Lynn lashes out at Chase over Willow, and Ethan issues Ava a chilling warning about Phoebe's situation. Today on General Hospital, Willow shares her theory that Jack and Drew's strokes are connected, Lulu lashes out at Carly for harboring Valentine, and Albrecht corroborates Anna's version of events at Windmere. Valentine visits Joss in the hospital with flowers and notes. She's not surprised that he's been released. He was almost sent back to Steinmauer when they dropped all charges and sent him home. It made sense only when he saw the statement that Cullum died a hero, and they both know that's not true. He assumes she played ball with the WSB, named Cassius the real villain, and that she must have gotten something in return, including his release. He thanks her for giving him his life back, and asks why she did it. Joss says she couldn't let her mom go down for helping him, so she needed to make sure there were no charges against him. Valentine owes her one, and before he leaves, Joss asks him to pass along a message to Anna for her. Lulu rages at Carly. Lulu stops by Carly's, and as if Carly already knows she's about to be Lulu'd, Carly tells her to have at it. Lulu asks if Carly orchestrated her daughter getting in touch with Valentine. Carly says before this goes any further, Jack recruited Joss into the WSB over a year ago. When she found out, she knew she had to get her out, and she went to Valentine for help. Lulu asks what Valentine asked for in return. Then she realized Carly helped him escape. Carly says all she did was convince Jack to put Valentine in prison closer to Port Charles. Valentine did the rest. Carly admits she let Valentine stay in her attic when he came looking for help. Lulu remembers Carly bringing Charlotte here at Christmas. Was that so Valentine could see her? Carly says it was. The women bicker back and forth, and Lulu says they both know there was more to Carly's helping Valentine, since she saw her kissing Valentine outside the hospital. She put her daughter in danger to keep Valentine in her bed. Carly insists Charlotte was never in danger, and all their meetings took place in her house. Carly says she doesn't know what they've been through, but Lulu says she knows the danger Valentine poses to her daughter. Carly says she can be mad at her, but Charlotte loves Valentine, and if she doesn't accept that, then be prepared for Charlotte to sneak around and lie to her. Lulu only wants to keep her daughter safe and laughs at Carly's parenting advice, since Joss clearly isn't confiding in her. Ava wants answers from Ethan. Ava arrives at the pool and places a drink down next to a sunbathing Ethan. He says it looks delicious, but after tasting it, says it's a bit light on the rum and asks her to have the bar put more in. Ava says there is plenty of rum in the drink, and he doesn't seem to appreciate her gesture of gratitude for saving her life, and vice versa. Ethan jokes he thinks she liked being stuck in that storage room with him, as he got to look at his behind all she wanted, maybe even copped a feel while trying to keep him from bleeding out. She ends up dumping the drink on his head and asks if that's enough rum for him. Ethan wonders what he did to deserve that. She tells him that he's still lying to her, and reminds him of something he said to her that he likely wouldn't have said if he were thinking clearly. When she told him to hold on for his daughter, he said Phoebe wasn't his. Ethan puts on a shirt and tries to claim his words were misheard during all the gunfire. So Ava threatens to take her suspicions to Alexis. She knows he's running a con here and is extorting the Quartermaines. Ethan says he is not extorting anyone, and he is trying to keep his promise to Phoebe's mother and protect her. Ava asks, from what? He says she doesn't want to know. Ava asks for the truth, but Ethan won't tell her more. She needs to know this is what he and Delilah wanted for Phoebe, a loving home with two parents. Chase makes an accusation. In the Q's living room, Brook Lynn is going gaga over how cute Phoebe is. Chase enters, holds Phoebe, and says nothing is more important than her. Chase puts her down and then tells his wife about his talk with Lucy about the case against Willow, who was never a suspect until Lucy came forward. Brook Lynn wishes he hadn't questioned Lucy. Brook Lynn reminds him that he lost his detective badge while protecting Willow, and now he is doing it again. Chase thinks Willow's trip log was hacked. His first guess was that Michael had hacked it, But Lucy's telling him she owned half her deception shares made him think differently. He asks if she framed Willow. Brook Lynn promised never to lie to him and admits she did it. Chase asks why, and Brook Lynn says Willow depends more and more on him every day, and he can't see that Willow wants him back. All she wanted was for him to look at Willow differently. Chase says instead of separating him and Willow, she's separating the two of them. Jack weaves a tale. At Willow's, Jack tells Liz he's grateful to her, Jach, and Turning Woods for the care he got, and that he's made a full recovery. Liz says progress like this is unheard of, and she thinks Brennan's time at Turning Woods made the difference between him and Drew. Liz says that Jack and Drew's similar situation is very rare, and she wonders whether the source of their condition is in this house. What if there is a toxin here keeping Drew from recovering? Jack can't speak for Drew, but he knows what caused his stroke. He says this information cannot leave the room. The day he fell ill, he was working on a classified WSB mission, and he was exposed to a classified substance, which is why he was moved to Turning Woods to be privately cared for. He says there is no connection between him and Drew, aside from being here when he collapsed. He came here to thank Nina for saving his life and visiting him. Jack heads out, and Liz still seems suspicious. Britt finally gets some good news. At the PCPD, Joe questions Britt in the interrogation room, but she's not about to answer any questions. He says she's not being accused of a crime and tells her about the discovery of her saline meds, and asks why she was taking them. Britt tells him she's been a world-class idiot and explains how it was Ross Cullum's doing. She did everything he wanted, legal or illegal, to get those fake meds. Joe hands her release paperwork and says she's free to go. Anna's in need of answers. At home, Anna recalls what happened in her cell at Windmere when Albrecht appears at her door. Albrecht needs Anna's help. Albrecht explains that Cullum was a double agent spearheading Faison's final project, and forced both her and Britt to finish the device. Anna is sorry, but fortunately, the prototype was confiscated before any damage was done. Albrecht says she's wrong, Cassius died, and his reputation is being tarnished by a WSB cover-up. Anna says she's been fighting for her life for the past 6 months, so she can't deal with this right now. Albrecht tells Anna that she was a victim of Cullum herself, and when Cullum abducted her, she was held in the same room Anna was. Anna says the doctors told her she had a psychotic break and it wasn't real, so if Albrecht has proof, show her. Albrecht draws a sketch of the room for Anna and even points out where she wrote a message on the wall naming the date she was taken captive. Anna thanks Albrecht for confirming her version of the events. Albrecht tells her that Joss was held there too, and that Carly was as well briefly. Anna says unfortunately she never saw Cullum, so she doesn't know what he did to her. But she can confirm Cassius did lie to her and pretend to be Nathan, and that makes her think Cassius could have been the one to oversee Faison's work being completed. Albrecht says Cassius was manipulated by Cullum, but Anna only wants to deal in facts. She knew Cullum and he was well respected, but maybe he lost his way. However, the only person who could know how to torture her would be Faison's son. Albrecht says if she doesn't believe her, they can ask Joss. Across town, Jack stops by the hospital to see Joss and learns Valentine is free, and it was Joss doing. Jack asks why she'd do that, given how bad he is for her mom. She says Valentine and her mom aren't going to last, as she just sent him straight to Anna. Back at Anna's, Anna cries to Albrecht that she'll see Joss soon, but right now all she's focused on is healing. If Albrecht wants to clear Cassius' name, she has to find someone else to do it. Albrecht says she will clear his name with or without Anna's help. Albrecht storms out. In the show's final moments, before Liz leaves Willow's, she asks Willow if the communication therapist has been by to see Drew. Willow says they haven't synced up their schedules, and thanks Liz for being an amazing friend. Liz leaves and Nina and Willow realize how close that was. Willow needs to find Brennan's evidence before Drew can destroy her life. Brook Lynn tells Chase she knows she did the wrong thing. She panicked. They are on the brink of getting everything they want, so he has to understand. Chase says Willow stood trial for something she didn't do, and is helping them adopt Phoebe, so what she did to Willow is wrong. Brook Lynn loses it and screams, "That's what matters most, that I did this to Willow? She's what matters most to you." At the pool, Ava asks Ethan what is to stop her from going to the Q's. He says his word that this situation isn't a game. It's as serious as saving her life, so drop this. Ethan then limps out. At the station, Britt is shocked she's free to go, and Joe says the WSB isn't pressing charges against her. Britt can't believe that's it. She has no place to go, she has no money, no phone, no car. Joe gives her some cash, a whole $5, and says she can pay him back later. At the hospital, Joss tells Jack that Anna was held captive in the same room as she was in, and Cullum and Sidwell caused her breakdown. She needs to know this to heal, and if one person can pull Valentine away from her mother, it's Anna. Lulu tells Carly that she doesn't know Valentine as well as she does. He will lie and manipulate to get what he wants. He'll do the same thing to Carly that he did to Nina and Anna. Lulu then storms out of Carly's place. Finally, as Valentine arrives at Anna's door, she smiles at him and he at her.